Well, social anxiety that people have, it means they're feeling anxious about their relationships and how they come across, how people see them. Will people like them? Will they not? Will they be successful? Or will their boss like them? Or will there somebody at a party like them? And so social anxiety, all of that started out with early programming somewhere. Started out with how the parents treated them, how they responded to their needs, how they heard their feelings or didn't hear them, or they punished them mostly or criticized them mostly. And so social disorder gets programmed in, and we tend to see things in the present according to the way they were programmed in when we were little and past. And so for it to be effective for us, we need to understand the problem itself and want to resolve it, and we may also need to get to the origins of it and to have the tools that will work more effectively for changing those origins and that programming that causes us to have keep attracting the very thing we don't like, and the anxiety we don't like, and the fear that we don't like. And so if we can use those other methods to have the understanding and care and concern, and then also add the tools that can help us deactivate parts of the programming from our early years that we just don't want anymore. And the tools that we would use might be we might have a lot of periods of trauma, neglect as a baby in the crib, being allowed to cry for a long time. Or maybe as we start getting into things, the parent was always critical and judging of us. Well, we need the tools that can help us change that. And some of the newer trauma treatment tools like EMDR and thought field therapy or the tapping exercises, or then cognitive therapy can be of help in another way too. These are ways that we can make some concrete changes to our old programming so that we don't attract it or we don't see it there even if it's not, which we're all prone to do. We're all prone to see through eyes of the past and call it reality. And yet we see through eyes of the past and interpret it that way so much. But that leaves us feeling like a victim so much of the time. So we need to have the tools that help us work this through at all those levels. Like the psychoanalytic is the quality of the relationship can be healing in itself, different from what you might have had with mother or with father. On the other hand, we may need tools that deactivate the programming that got in there, that I've got to be scared, I've got to watch out, I've got to do everything perfectly, or I'm not good enough, and all those kind of things that would make you more depressed or anxious and afraid. So we need to deal with all these levels in order to be fully effective and get the results we want. And now in this day and age, with so much that challenges us, we need to use the tools that help us wake up and stay more at peace in spite of all the traumas of the coronavirus and the wars and the economy and so on going on. Because we can get really disturbed by that and just make us weaker and make us more prone to illness and make us less successful. But if we deal with those more effectively, we can stay more centered, even in spite of what's going on. Certainly, if you'd like to learn more about these methods or these tools or the combinations of them and how they work, I'll be glad to talk with you about it. You could contact me by phone or by email, or you could call me and we can make an appointment or two and we could discuss it more in relation to your area, your issues, your problem areas, and what would be effective for you to do together. So I'd be happy to explore those things with you. I have people who want to come in person can see me in New York City or in Westport, Connecticut. Others may prefer to have session by Zoom or telephone or FaceTime or things like that. So that's possible too, especially during this coronavirus situation. So whatever works for you is I'm open to explore with you. But I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have about what this therapy is like.